Hello, everybody. My name is Ray,
And my name's MJ.
and today we will be discussing our predictions of season 3, episode 13 of the Penthouse.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, before we begin our predictions for episode 13, let's talk about episode 12.
Oh my goodness.
What an
yes.
insane episode.
Chosejin is alive.
Yes, how is this possible? I mean, when she fell and the chandelier just laid on top of her, there was no way of survival.
Yeah, no, not at all. Because it fell like right in the middle of her stomach, where most of her internal, like important organs are located. And she coughed up blood and she legit was motionless. So you would assume that the chandelier was so heavy that it put pressure on her organs, causing her organs to bruise, yeah, and her to internally bleed, which would result in her death.
Yes.
But she somehow survived all that.
And she's awake within hours.
Yeah, while Dr. Ha, I mean, I understand your brain is more sensitive, but still, he was like in a coma for like 2 weeks or something.
How is this possible? What?
I have no idea. I honestly don't know.
I mean, I get it. They want like more action, more drama with Cho Seo-jin, but like, what happened?
And even in her surgery, if with the impact the chandelier had, there would be so much blood on that area they were doing surgery on that you couldn't even see the organs. But it was just clear. It seemed like there was no blood.
It's like she went in and out of surgery and she was like, boom, done. Like,
yeah, it was like for an appendix removal or something.
Not even. She was able to move around.
I know. I think this part was kind of unrealistic because the chandelier was huge. It weighs a ton. She's very petite. Like, I just think there was no way she would have survived all that. Even like Jenny's mom didn't even go and like push the chandelier off to take the impact off of her body. So it must have been on her a while until someone else came and helped push it off.
Exactly.
I just don't understand how she survived. I feel like that's so unrealistic.
But anyway, she apparently did.
Yeah.
And she can remember her daughter now.
Yeah, the doctor said she had early onset dementia, Alzheimer's. I don't know. Do you think she's faking it?
I don't think she's faking it because you can't fake a was it an MRI scan?
CT scan, I think.
But like I think she's going in and out of it, you know? I think she's having episodes of when she can remember, when she is in a healthy state, but I don't think she's faking it. I know she's having those moments where she's just like, when she makes that face, like she is faking. Remember when she bit off that guy's ear?
I think that part was different. I think it triggered her back into like her protecting her daughter.
Oh, she heard like maybe
she heard her daughter like screaming for help, and it kind of triggered her, and that's what she went for. Because then after she bit the guy's ear off, like the loan sharks, she was kind of like back to herself, like what is happening?
Yeah, she was terrified. She was scared.
Yeah. I think you're right. I agree with you. It does seem like she does have Alzheimer's. And I mean,
and she did take when she took the medication, she didn't just take one at once, she had multiple at once. So
especially with wine.
Yes, so you would think the effect would be even larger.
Yeah, it's really sad to see her this way now. I'm glad her daughter is protecting her though, but I think Emil did the wrong thing in giving her mom this medication.
I agree.
And then
the next villain.
Gigante. Oh my god, he died. For sure, we can say, even for Penthouse.
This is the end of Gigante.
He had 3 like gunshot wounds, and there was an explosion in Hera Palace after he fell into the fountain.
Yes, there's no way he's gonna survive that impact. But
it was definitely a tragic death. Like, it was horrible how he died. I mean, yes, he's a villain, but still.
But as we predicted, like, everything was out in the open, you know? He finally got to say what he wanted to say to Shimstar for so long. Like, hey, it was your parents, it was your dad who took over, you know, the place we lived. You know, my mom and my sister died because of your construction business.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I just wished he had like something like, I don't know, like a diary or like a video he made explaining his whole past. Like, because he never really talked about the struggles he had as a child beggar and like how people mistreated him. Even when he was trying to do honest work as a child. Like I feel like those are important. I thought that was important for him to say because it would give more insight into why he's that way,
Mhm.
which I really enjoyed seeing it in episode 12.
Yeah.
And it's horrible how like his
Yeah, when you saw the
childhood,
child beggar in that one
yeah,
scene, oh, I
like
was
you
so
can understand
heartbroken.
his mentality. He's like, I'm not going back to them. He's
Mhm.
terrified. But, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely a character who's been through a lot.
Mhm.
I mean, if you go through a lot, you don't have to resort to violence and like being evil, but at least we know the origins of why he's doing everything.
Yeah, I agree. And I just want to mention, I found it kind of cool that like on the first episode, season 1 of Penthouse, we saw Minsa falling from like, the top of Penthouse all the way to the fountain. And in one of the last few episodes of season 3, Gigante fell the exact same way into the fountain, which
It
was
was a nice way to like bring everything into a round circle.
yeah, and the whole building just collapsed.
Yeah.
What?
It was the empire he built, so it makes sense that if he falls, everything he built is gonna fall.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah,
And that's what he wanted too.
that is true.
Okay.
Which brings us to Shim Soyan. After she shot Gigante and he fell off. We see in the previews for season 13 that she's
Episode 13.
episode 13 that she's looking at photos of her 2 children, and it seems like she's kind of saying goodbye,
Yeah.
which is heartbreaking to see
I think
because
yeah.
I know everyone wants her to be alive. I mean, I personally want her to survive this too, but I think it's highly improbable.
I agree.
Because 2.5 seconds is a very short amount of time.
25 minutes.
2.5 minutes, yes, thank you. It's a very short amount of time. Like, she cannot get out that way.
Mm-hmm. Even yeah, and I think when she saw Judante before he fell, like he pressed on the trigger for the bombs.
Mhm.
I think she knew at that moment that that was the end for her. I don't think she had an escape route.
Yeah, I think that's also why before their engagement party, Logan and Shim Soyeon kind of had said their goodbyes before they went down. I mean, as sad as it is, Logan would never want to see Shim Soyeon being blown up. But
Mhm.
unless he was there hiding in the background, I doubt that she's alive. Like she wouldn't be sitting here like this if she
Mhm.
was to survive.
Mhm. I was actually going to bring it up. I saw some theories on social media that, if there could have been, because the 2 windows were broken,
Mm-hmm.
so they could have a helicopter waiting for her, so she could escape that way. And I was thinking about it, and I don't think that's possible because the end of episode 12 showed that the penthouse was blown up.
Mm-hmm.
Remember,
Yeah.
Gigante was looking straight at it. So if penthouse is being blown up, then everything in that area, like I know it's the sky, but
It
everything
would
will
have a
be blown
huge
up.
impact. Yeah, even if it doesn't like Penthouse, the effect it has will kind of like push everything back. Like
Mhm.
whatever is in the way, it'll also have an impact on
And with
destroy
how
around it.
tall Hera Palace is, like, do you know how the way it crashed kind of bent?
Yeah.
That whole tall building almost bent. So I think even if there was a helicopter, it would destroy the helicopter.
Yeah, because no helicopter can withstand the amount of force that the explosion would exude, especially since Judante asked the secretary to give him explosives that were way more powerful than the ones he used on Logan.
Mhm.
So, as sad as it is to say, I don't think Shim Sudan survives.
Mhm.
I think she dies, and I think her and Judante are the only ones that die, to be honest.
I think everyone else did survive.
Yeah. And then we also see this scene of Cho Seo-jin. It seems like she is back in the house that her secretary got her the apartment, so she must be out of the hospital. And as you can see on the bottom, it says, "You died a death that you deserved." So I think this is talking about Judante, and if Shamsuren died, also Shamsuren.
Mhm.
But here it also seems like she's back in her present mental state
Mhm.
rather than, in the past, because she seems aware of what just happened to her, Palace and Judante and possibly Shamsuren.
Yeah. I want to say Judante, but they didn't have such an evil relationship. Like they had the same motives. They were partners in crime.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. I see it, but I also do think, like you said, it might be for Shamsuren because she had this intense hatred for her.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Guess we'll have to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see this scene of Logan Lee walking into a conference, a meeting. Um, Honestly, he seems kind of fine. Like you
Yeah.
would, not to be rude, but if Shin Soiran did die, I would assume he would be in way worse of a condition. Um, I don't know. He seems okay. So I don't even
We'll
know
have
what
to
to
see.
think. Maybe if there is a possibility that Shin Soiran survived, maybe that's why he seems okay. If she survived. Yeah, especially you can also see like this little mark on his chin. I mean, that could also be from his previous
Injuries.
incident, but it could also be him trying to, take Shinshaidan out of danger and rescue her. So
Yeah, quite possibly. And I think, yeah, he does look like he's in a good state of mind, but I think it's also because he has to be a little bit more professional because he's at a meeting.
yeah, probably.
Um,
And what is this meeting for?
I think he's trying. Well, since he took over Chosojin and Judante's business, what was it, the Choai Art Center
Mhm.
and the construction business, I think he's either going to sell it to someone else or just reform everything that they've been doing.
Maybe. And in the bottom, you can see it says Chosojin is the only one left. So he definitely still has a plan for Chosojin.
Yes.
They're not letting her off easy, even though she is diagnosed with early onset dementia. Guess we'll have to see what their plan is. Or I assume his plan, since Shinsuran possibly died. Then we have this scene of Verona, and we assume it is Dr. Ha because there's also this scene, and you can see Dr. Ha curled up on the right side, and Verona in the cafe.
Yeah,
So,
and there's no one across from her, so we can assume that she's waiting for Dr. Ha, or it was right after their meeting.
I think it was right after their meeting because in the bottom it says live happily ever after. So it's probably after they said their goodbyes, had their, said whatever they needed to say because she's also leaving to go to Juilliard.
Maybe it was maybe she forgave him for for betraying her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
maybe
think
they
they just
kind of
rekindled,
their
let
relationship.
bygones be bygones, and I think they're trying to move past it.
I think so too.
Yeah. And then we have this scene of Umbyo getting kind of like pushed into a car by two people. It looks like a male and a female. Now, I have a theory about this. I think after Dr. Ha wakes up, which we see he does, he might be informed that Cho Seo-jin was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So I think he might realize that the reason Eunbil didn't take the medication and she saved it was because she used it on Cho Seo-jin. So Dr. Ha might alert Logan Lee, which Logan might inform, I don't know, the authorities or something and get Eunbil taken away from her mom.
Possible.
Because she also went to juvenile prison in the last season. So maybe she was also out on probation or she still has that on her record. So they had to take her away or something to
and get her some help,
investigate or question her.
Yeah, and I don't think these people are anyone we know. I don't think that's Logan, and I don't think that's Shamsuran.
I agree with you.
I think she has a little bit lighter hair, and
Yeah,
we'll see
Logan does not have gray hair yet.
anymore. Yeah, in this season he has black hair.
I agree with you. I think it is probably some authority that's taking Umbil away from her
Some
mom.
kind of professional to help her out.
Which, like, further on goes into my theory that Cho Soo-jin is going to the state of panic that she needs to save Umbil. So maybe she heard that her daughter was taken away from her, or she saw that, and so she immediately gets triggered and goes back to the night that Judante had taken. What was her name? Umbil. So I think that's why she goes back to that stage or something, like the place where Eun died, and she is rushing everywhere to find her daughter, and she's like, I must push forward. So I think she's basically getting triggered to that night. She's reliving the whole night again.
Possibly, yes. Well, especially if she has, early onset dementia, she might think she's at that moment. It might not be her present mental state, but she might go back.
Yeah, because she definitely, her daughter is a trigger for her. We saw that in the hospital when the loan sharks were there, so it could be that. Yeah, she seems, something seemed to have upset her to the point that she is crying hysterically. And we also see that she has a bloody hand and is holding a phone. Now,
I think it's she killed someone and she took their phone.
Yeah, because we observed the phones that each character had for our previous episodes and predictions, and most of the male characters had white phones, and most of the females had purple or pink phones. With like an exception, I think Jenny's mom had a white phone, but I think she might have killed Logan and took his phone, or injured Logan, because there isn't that much blood, but there is blood.
Yeah. Logan. I actually think she might have killed Dr. Ha. I don't know. Because
That's
remember when she had that episode, what was it, 2 episodes ago? And she was like protecting, I don't know who she thought was her daughter from Dr. Ha. She seemed really, really angry. So it might be the same state again, and she's like, she is
just reliving it all over again. Yeah,
she's trying to attack him again.
That does make sense. Yeah.
But I think it's either or.
Yeah, the reason I think it's Logan is because, like I said, she might have been triggered that Miguel was taken away. And if Logan was the one who called the authorities, she probably went after Logan. And that's what caused her to harm him or something. I don't think she might have fully killed someone. I feel like there would be more blood on her hands or something. But she definitely did injure someone. Especially we can see in this scene, she's like wiping away her hands and her blood. And I don't even know where she is, but she seems like by herself in like a random place trying to escape.
Yeah, it kind of looks abandoned because, you could see that the mirrors are kind of dirty. Some people haven't been here for a while. So it's definitely a place that, that hasn't been lived in a while.
Yeah. I'm so excited to see. We only have 2 episodes left. I'm curious to see what happens. I didn't think Cho Soo-jin would survive. And I didn't think Dr. Ha would survive.
That's why I had no predictions after, when she died. I was like, okay, well, that was the end of Cho Soo-jin, I guess.
And I didn't expect Jugante to die until the last episode. So the episode definitely took me by shock. And I'm excited to see the next one. I really don't know what else to predict or say because the clips that they showed us are pretty vague. And I feel like they revealed so much already. There isn't much to say. But yeah, I'm excited.
And the clips that they do show, they're kind of all from the same scenes. So much happens in one episode, but they don't preview every single event that occurs.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, it's definitely exciting to see. And we also heard some rumors that Jugante's secretary was talking to Woo Yoon-hee on the phone.
I know, I heard that too. As much as we love Yoon Hee,
Mhm.
I don't think she's alive.
I don't think she's making a comeback. If she would, I think the writers would have given some hints throughout the episode, or at least did something to seem like she would come back.
Yeah.
But
Because we saw her dead body,
mhm.
and she was blue.
Yeah.
Like she was blue. She was on the autopsy table. They had her funeral.
Mhm.
It was the same exact thing as Min Sola, so I don't think there's no way that she's coming back alive.
Yeah, and if she was to come back, then they wouldn't have gone on about like, oh, Sukuna feeling bad because Uyun died because of her, and everything that they did after Uyun death was kind of to revenge her death.
Mm-hmm.
Or avenge her
Yeah.
death.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think if Eunhee was alive, I don't think that Rona would go to Juilliard.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she would because she wants to pursue music,
Mhm.
but I don't know.
I
I think
doubt
she
it.
would want to be with her mom.
Yeah, I think so too. But it's very interesting. We're so excited. There's only 2 episodes
Mhm.
left.
But do you know what I think is going to happen? I think they're going to have a time jump.
Oh,
I do think that's going to happen. And they had one in the beginning of the season. I think they're going to also have one towards the end.
yeah, maybe kind of like to help everyone, have a conclusion on this whole thing.
Yeah, to kind of see like where they are after, they took down the villains, how their life is after a few years.
Yeah. Oh, and I just want to say really quickly, again, with Judante's secretary, someone was on the phone listening and they heard Judante. I think it could have, maybe Judante's secretary was giving a heads up to Logan. Because, I mean, how they knew Judante was going to do something, but how would they know it was going to be a bomb? Instead of like him setting fire to the place or him coming in just shooting everyone. You know what I mean? I think maybe the secretary was trying to tell Logan that he's on his way so they can be more prepared.
Possibly. But we will see. I can't wait. I know it's only 7 days, but like those 7 days feel like forever.
I agree. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed our predictions. Thank you for listening to our podcast.
If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up.
Please subscribe.
If you have any of the theories, please put them down in the description box.
Yep. We will be releasing another prediction next week, Saturday or Friday. We'll try our best and we hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Bye, guys.